Hi, Lions. It's so good to see you again. I'm going to teach you a new vowel sound today, as well as some new sight words so that we can become automatic readers and automatic spellers. First, let's get started by blending some sounds together. Remember, we practice this because when you come to a word you don't know and you make each individual sound, you have to be able to put it back together to read the whole word. Okay, so I'll say the parts and then you'll put them together. Okay, ready? Mat. Together. Mat. Very good. At. Together. Hat. Im. Together. Him. Very good. Am. Together. Ham. Am. Together. Sam. Perfect job. Okay, now we'll do the opposite. I'm going to say the word, and then you're going to tap out the sounds. Remember, we do that when we're trying to spell a word. We need to be able to hear each sound so we can represent those sounds with a letter or letters. Here we go. Say sat, like she sat in her chair. Good. Now sound it. At. Sat. Good job. Say sit. Please sit in your chair. Good. Sound it. It. Good. Sit. Say rim, like the rim of your tire. Here we go. Now sound it. Rim. Good job. Say ram. Ram. Sound it. Ram. Good job. Say hat. Sound it. At. Together. Hat. Good. Say hit. Good. Sound it. It. Together. Hit. Good job. Okay. I want to introduce you to another closed syllable, and this is for the short sound of I. If you have the letter I and there's a consonant after it, it is a closed syllable type. When a vowel is a closed syllable type, it makes the short sound. So to help you remember the short I sound, you can think of itch, like an itching rash, okay? And you can make the hand motion for itch. That way you can see the picture in your mind. You can feel what that sound would be like, and it'll help you remember that sound when you need to sound it out in a new word, or if you're trying to spell the I sound. So this says I together. I, your turn. I. Very good. This is a continuous sound because you can stretch it out and hold it. And remember, it is the short vowel sound. That's why we have this line here, because this is indicating that there would be a consonant after this I, because it's a closed syllable type. And closed syllables make the short vowel sound. Good. We'll keep practicing. Let's review our other sounds. All right. This is the short vowel sound for A. Just like the I, we have a consonant after the vowel. That's what that line is representing. Remember, our picture for short A is the apple, and you can pretend like you're picking an apple from the tree. This says together. Your turn. Good. This is a closed syllable type. The door is closed because the consonant is blocking it. Okay, this is, remember, racing robot. So it's together. Your turn. Good. My turn. Together. Your turn. Good. Like the hissing snake. My turn. Together. Your turn. Good. Like the humming monkey. My turn. Together. Your turn. Good. Like nose noise. My turn. together, t. Your turn. Good. Like the tick-tock clock. All right, let's practice reading those sounds and words. So we will make each sound and then we'll blend it together. Here we go. At. It. At. Sat. It. Sit. An. In. Very good. Okay, I have 2 new sight words to teach you, or you can call them heart words. Remember, these are words we need to know automatically because a lot of them you can't sound out, but then even the ones that you can, they're used in almost every story you're going to read. So you want to make sure you know them by heart, that you know them by sight. The first word is are. You are an amazing student. A-R-E. Read it. Are. Good job. No. Spell N-O. Read no. Good. So we're going to read, spell, read the rest of our words. Yes. Y-E-S. Yes. On. O-N. On. Can. C-A-N. Can. I. Me, M-E, me. See, S-E-E-C. And, A-N-D, and. You, Y-O-U, you. We, W-E, we. The, T-H-E, the. Is, I-S, is. Good. Now we're going to spell. So if you do not have paper and pencil, you can push pause while you go grab your materials. And we will go ahead and get started. So say it good, like the itch. So we're going to spell it. So it. When you make the letter I, or you're spelling the I sound, you stop at the midline and then the dot goes above that. Say like the racing robot. Go ahead and spell So like the racing robot. Remember the R stops at the midline as well. Okay, say at. Now sound at. At. I heard 2 sounds. Go ahead and spell at. Stretch out the sounds while you are spelling. At. So it should look like this. The A goes to the midline. The T goes to the top. You cross the T at the midline. Say sit. Now sound sit. It. Sit. Go ahead and spell sit. It. Sit. It. Sit. So the I, remember, stops at the midline, but you dot it halfway between the top and the midline. T goes to the top, and you cross it at the midline. Okay, say sat. Sound it. At. Sat. Go ahead and spell sat. At. Sat. At. Sat. Good job. Okay, last word we're going to spell is one of our sight words. Is. I-S is. Go ahead and spell that. Remember, when you're spelling the sight words, say the letters as you spell it. That way you see it, you hear it while you feel it. Okay? Is. I-S. Is. So it should look like this. The I and S stop at the midline. Remember, you dot the I halfway between the top and halfway between the midline. There you go. Good job. Last thing we have to do is read our story. Remember, our stories are written on purpose so that they include the sounds that we've learned and the sight words we've learned. If the word is underlined, it's a sight word and we'll read it automatically. If it's not underlined, we will stretch out the sounds and then blend it back together. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And remember, a good reader, when you have to stop to stretch out a word, good readers go back and reread it, because then that way you can focus on what the story means instead of having to focus your attention on what the sounds say. Okay, here we go. Are we on the mat? Are we on the mat? See the question mark? So they're asking a question. So we make our voice sound like we're asking something. Every thought needs to end with ending punctuation, whether it's a period or a question mark or an exclamation point. Here we go. Yes, we are on the mat. We are on the mat. Am I on the car? You might hear my dog barking in the background. I think he hears me reading. Here we go. Yes, I am on the car. Yes, I am on the car. Are you on the ant? Are you on the ant? Did you see how I raised my voice up because there was the question mark? Here we go. No, the ant is on you. No, the ant is on you. Ugh. I think I would have an exclamation point there because I don't think I would care for that. Are we on the rat? Are we on the rat? I think I prefer the ant to the rat. No, we are not on the rat. No, we are not on the rat. I think they're thankful to not be on the rat. All right, readers, great job. We'll continue practicing those sounds and those sight words, and we'll learn some new ones tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye, Lions. Possibly being a theme. I love how Via, his sister's, encouraging him. So I'm gonna put Via in my ear. That'll be my trigger to remind me where to go on this page. Because she's whispering words of encouragement to Augie. So I've got that page marked. Okay. Mr. Tushman was greeting students and parents in front of the school entrance. I have to admit, so far, nothing bad had happened. I didn't catch anyone staring or even noticing me. Only once did I look up to see some girls looking my way and whispering with their hands cupped over their mouths. But they looked away when they saw me notice them. We reached the front entrance. Okay, so this is it, big boy, said Dad, putting his hands on top of my shoulders. Have a great first day. I love you, said Via, giving me a hug and a kiss. You too, I said. I love you, Augie, said Dad, hugging me. Bye. Then Mom hugged me, but I could tell she was about to cry, which would have totally embarrassed me. So I just gave her a fast, hard hug, turned, and disappeared into the school. All right, I'm going to add to the post-it note about the hug. And I love you. Definitely some more evidence that family could be a theme here, the importance of family. Okay. Locks is the next chapter. I went straight to room 301 on the third floor. Now I was glad I'd gone on that little tour because I knew exactly where to go and I didn't have to look up once. I noticed that some kids were definitely staring at me now. I did my thing of pretending not to notice. I went inside the classroom and the teacher was writing on the chalkboard while all the kids started sitting at different desks. The desks were in a half circle facing the chalkboard. So I chose the desk in the middle toward the back, which I thought would make it harder for anyone to stare at me. I still kept my head way down, just looking up enough from under my bangs to see everyone's feet. As the desks started to fill up, I did notice that no one sat down next to me. A couple of times, someone was about to sit next to me, then changed his or her mind at the last minute and sat next to someone else. Hey, August. It was Charlotte, giving me her little wave as she sat down at a desk in the front of the class. Why anyone would ever choose to sit way up in front in class, I don't know. Hey, I said, nodding hello. Then I noticed Julian was sitting a few seats away from her, talking to some other kids. I know he saw me, but he didn't say hello. Suddenly, someone was sitting down next to me. It was Jack Will. Jack. What's up? He said, nodding at me. Hey, Jack, I answered, waving my hand, which I immediately wish I hadn't done because it felt kind of uncool. I'm wondering if friendship could be a theme here. I'm going to put, we had F for family, so I'm going to put FR for friendship. And this is page 37 because it seems as if Jack Will is really starting to become a friend of Augie, and I have a feeling it's going to continue to build, and this is going to be a really important, pivotal moment when their friendship starts. So I'm going to say, let's see, Jack sat next to Augie. All right, so I've marked this page. Here we go. Okay, remember being an active reader helps you think about the comprehension question you're trying to answer, and you want to mark where your evidence is so you can go back to it because you're not going to remember. All right, here we go. Okay, kids. Okay, everybody, settle down, said the teacher, now facing us. She had written her name on the board. She had written her name, Ms. Petosa, on the chalkboard. Everybody find a seat. Please come in, she said to a couple kids who had just walked into the room. There's a seat right there, and right there. She hadn't noticed me yet. Now, the first thing I want everyone to do is stop talking, and she noticed me. Put your backpacks down and quiet down. She had only hesitated for a millionth of a second, but I could tell the moment she saw me. Like I said, I'm used to it by now. I'm going to take attendance and do the seating chart, she continued, sitting on the edge of her desk. Next to her were 3 neat rows of accordion folders. When I call your name, come up and I'll hand you a folder with your name on it. It contains your class schedule and your combination lock, which you should not try to open until I tell you to. Your locker number is written on the class schedule. Be forewarned that some lockers are not right outside this class, but down the hall. And before anyone even thinks of asking, no, you cannot switch lockers and you can't switch locks. Then, if there's time at the end of this period, we're all going to get to know each other a little better, okay? Okay. She picked up the clipboard on her desk and started reading the names out loud. Okay, so Julian Albans, she said, looking up. Julian raised his hand and said, here at the same time. Hi, Julian, she said, making a note on her seating chart. She picked up the very first folder and held it out toward him. Come pick it up, she said in kind of a no-nonsense. He got up and took it from her. Zamina Chen. She handed a folder to each child as she read off the names. As she went down the list, I noticed that the seat next to me was the only one still empty. even though there were two kids sitting at one desk just a few feet away, or a few seats away. When she called the name of one of them, a big kid named Henry Joplin, who already looked like a teenager, she said, "Henry, there's an empty desk right over there. Why don't you go take that seat, okay?" She handed him his folder and pointed to the desk next to mine. Although I didn't look at him directly, I could tell Henry did not want to move next to me, just by the way he dragged his backpack on the floor as he came over, like he was moving in slow motion. Then he plopped his backpack up really high on the right side of the desk, so it was kind of like a wall between his desk and mine. "Maya Markowitz," Ms. Petosa was saying. "Here," said a girl about 4 desks from me. "Miles Nouri." "Here," said the kid that had been sitting with Henry Joplin. As he walked back to his desk, I saw him shoot Henry a poor you look. "August Pullman," said Miss Petosa. "Here," I said quietly, raising my hand a bit. "Hi, August," she said, smiling at me very nicely when I went up to get my folder. I kind of felt everyone's eyes burning into my back for a few seconds as I stood in front of the class, and everybody looked down when I walked back to my seat. I resisted spinning the combination when I sat down, even though everyone else was doing it, because she had specifically told us not to. I was already pretty good at opening locks anyway, because I've used them on my bike. Henry kept trying to open his lock, but he couldn't do it. He was getting frustrated and kind of cursing under his breath. Miss Petosa called out the next few names. The last name was Jack Will. After she handed Jack his folder, she said, "Okay, so everybody write your combinations down somewhere safe that you won't forget, okay? But if you do forget, which happens at least 3.2 times per semester, Miss Garcia has a list of all the combination numbers. Now, go ahead, take your locks out of your folders, spend a couple minutes practicing how to open them. Though I know some of you went ahead and did that anyway." She was looking at Henry when she said that. "And in the meanwhile, I'll tell you guys a little something about myself, and then you guys can tell me a little bit about yourselves, and we'll get to know each other. Sound good?" Good. She smiled at everyone, though I felt like she was smiling at me the most. Wasn't a shiny smile like Mrs. Garcia's smile, but a normal smile, like she meant it. She looked very different from what I thought teachers were going to look like. I guess I thought she looked like Ms. Fowl from Jimmy Neutron, an old lady with a big bun on top of her head. But, in fact, she looked exactly like Mon Mothma from, I'm sure I said that wrong, I'll have to ask my boys, from Star Wars Episode 6, haircut kind of like a boy's, and a big white shirt kind of like a tunic. She turned around and started writing on the chalkboard. Henry still couldn't get his lock to open, and he was getting more and more frustrated every time someone else popped one open. He got really annoyed when I was able to open mine on the first try. The funny thing is, if he hadn't put the backpack between us, I most definitely would have offered to help him. All right, guys, we're going to pick up with the next chapter tomorrow. The next chapter is Around the Room. So we collected some evidence that perseverance and family could be the theme. And we also found some evidence that friendship could possibly be a theme here for this story. So I marked that with a flag as well, just so we remember to keep revisiting that. And, one thing we're going to discuss as we continue developing the idea of theme, which is what the story is all about, and purpose, why the author wrote the text, there can be more than one right answer. As long as you can prove it with evidence from the text. So far we've gathered quite a bit of evidence, and we'll keep gathering this evidence. But like I said, someone might think the theme is different than someone else, but as long as you have text evidence to prove it, You're okay. All right, guys, we'll pick up right here where we left off tomorrow. I can't wait to keep reading. This is such an awesome story, and I'm so excited to get to share this with you. All right, have a great day.